Dungeons and Dragons.
And junk drawer. What's up, everyone?
Hi.
How are you?
Hey, what's up?
We're back.
How are things?
Good, thank you.
Good.
No,
he lives
no,
there,
you're
then.
talking to me.
Oh, he lives there then.
Good. Okay. Well,
up,
we're
guys?
back. Hello.
We are back. Back at it again on a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday.
Exactly. Do we get copyright struck for that or no? I can't tell.
No, there's no background music,
right.
so.
Okay, fair. It was an a cappella homage. We say that, right? It works out? Sweet.
Yeah.
It'll never happen again.
We are back. Dungeons and Dragons and Junk Drawer.
And we are live.
We are live. Oh my God! Hit us with a Bruce Buffer, Mike.
We are live.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I had to stay further
from
away
our
the
respective
mic.
houses.
And in
So-
millions and millions of fans all
Mm,
across the world.
we're working
yet.
on that part. We're working on
Getting
that
there.
part. On last episode of Dungeons and Dragons and Junk Drawer, we got out of the fucking mountain.
Woo!
I want to say more, and I'm gonna say more, but I feel like I shouldn't say more. I feel like it should stop there, but I'm gonna say more. So
Say
we,
more.
I'm going to.
Okay.
We encountered quite a few basilisks. Thankfully, none of us got turned to stone. LOLJK, it was totally Thokk, and it happened so fast. We also fought a troll of some kind. Dire troll? Is that what it was?
That is correct.
We fought a dire troll. We all almost died, but ended up killing it. We found a way into a river that was just outside of the mountain, inside the mountain. Inside, outside.
I think it was
It was
water.
inside the mountain.
Yeah.
It was like a waterfall inside the mountain, and we rode it all the way out
Correct.
to the mountain. And Dremmell may or may not have had a mental breakdown. Whatever. NBD. Who's to say? And yeah, so we are outside of the mountain. And before we get into it, I would like to throw it to our good friend Carlos to pump a friend of ours.
Oh, yeah. So I just want to shout out to... Sorry, it's been a long day. I want to throw a shout out to Random Encounter Productions. Check us out. I'm actually going to be there every Monday starting February... What is that, 3rd? Is that a Monday? Sure.
Yeah.
First Monday of February.
That sounds like a Monday.
We're actually we're starting our new campaign with them. The what is it? Disasters and Danger for that one. It's you don't have to know much about the old campaign to know about this one, but it's pretty much kind of like the same way that Junk Drawer did a what did we do, a 7-year skip, 8-year skip?
7-year jump.
We did a 7-year jump. They are doing as well a time skip ahead of time from their last campaign. So pretty much we're starting off fresh, level 3 characters, brand spanking new. So you can check them out on Twitch and YouTube and Instagram as well. Usually I think their Instagram is Random Encounter Productions. Then their Twitch is Random Encounter Prod, P-R-O-D. Soon we're going to be, hopefully, I got to figure out all the logistics on that. I need to get on that. And they'll be hosting us whenever they're not having anyone aired. And yeah, so you can check them out and potentially check us out on their channel as well.
Woo!
Nice.
Very exciting things.
Yeah.
I would also like to shout out both David Hemingway for all the beautiful maps you're going to see. If we see them, they did the cavern map and the prison map. They have a very cool Twitter that they're releasing everything all the time. And if you do a web show like we do, or a web game, very affordable maps with lots of variety and lots of things you can do with them. Yeah.
Tight.
Cool.
Well, with all that out of the way, DM whenever you're ready.
Cool. So we'll pick up from when there was an interaction between Dremmell and Donnar before Donnar had pushed Dremmell into the moving stream within this cave system.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the cave system, the way the waterfalls kind of worked was it kind of moved in slants where it would kind of slide and careen down into another platform, where there have been many times where you'll smack your stomach and you'll start sliding backwards and falling flat on your back, and eventually you're able to hit this current, and this current is very strong as it pulls you out into this aquifer and past it until finally you can kind of see sunlight. Now, Donnar and Dremmell, you kind of came together, and at this time you see Alder and Thokk on the side of this little riverbed, and I will, for the sake of brevity, turn the page.
Oh shit!
And role play.
Oh, and I'm literally just gonna be like, "Thank you, land. Thank you for the sun. It feels so good." I'm like, Aya, are you okay? Aya, the good with the water, and just like kind of just like making sure she's all right, and just but like, there's nature. Aya, take a mask off so she could fly around.
I'll say it's about like 2-3 p.m. in the day. The sun is very past its midpoint, but it's starting to move over more towards the west. I don't know where the sun sets.
The west.
The west. In this world, it's the west. So
Aren't there
yes.
2 suns?
Yeah.
Do they both set in the west?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're all out of the fucking cavern. You're at this kind of riverbed here that you can kind of see. It's very shallow, so it's not something that you necessarily would need like a rowboat to go to. If you were to go into it, it'd probably come up to about waist level on Alder. So it's not very deep.
What's the climate like?
It's pleasant. It's a little, I would say, humid from the water. You know what? Strike that. You're more close to the mountain, so it's a little bit more cool, a little bit windier, but not, I wouldn't say gusty. And you're greeted by these welcoming sounds of birds and the kind of babbling and gurgling of the river as it hits different stones and rocks. It's very fresh water that you're by.
I'm going to fill up my canteen. I'm just going to dunk it in the water and take a sip.
And it tastes very clean and clear. It's a little bit of the reserve from the cave water, but it's gone through so many rocks in the seabed that it's actually kind of filtrated itself, and it doesn't have that stagnant, sulfury kind of taste that you're kind of accustomed to for the past 6 or 7 months.
I'm just gonna go around, kind of touching trees and just, oh man, it feels good to be back out in the wilderness, and kind of start rubbing the ground, just reacclimating myself to this environment. I go over to the river and I dunk my head in just to kind of cool myself out. And like when Instagram models do that like hair flip thing, I try to do that, but it's only my beard, so it's just like a little flip. So you're all seduced, and as I do that,
won't go down.
As I do that, I reach down and I pick up a stick and I put it in my mouth, and I just, "What's up, boys? Where are we going now?"
We need to get the hell out of here.
We're continuing this journey together.
I mean, there's safety in numbers, aren't there?
Is there safety in numbers of fugitives that escape the same prison?
Yes.
This is news to me.
Well, you guys helped me out, so I would love to return the favor. If we can get on my ship, I can take you to wherever you need to go.
But I appreciate the hospitality, but we escaped the same prison at the same time, and the entire prison is looking for 4 individuals that looked like us.
Oh, that's not a
So-
problem. I put on my hat of disguise and I changed my looks to look like human. Like a 5'10" human, fat, with scars, unrecognizable.
I mean, you already
And you
know
see
that I
Thokk-
can. Oh,
Sorry, I was going to say you see Thokk turn into a very nondescript male.
and you already know I can disguise myself. So, I mean, it's not forever, but we got about 2 hours. I don't know how much time we really have to spend in the city. Plus, once we get far enough away, I don't think they're going to be, I don't think they'll have heard the news that we've broken out.
And I'm frolicking in the background, so you just hear me. Yeah, it did take us quite a while to get here. I'm just jumping around all over the trees and the bushes and the water.
I don't think you've ever seen Alder this happy, you guys.
Well, as excited as I am to be out of the prison, I think we should at least start walking in another direction in case anybody comes out of the prison. I would hate to just get caught again and have to plan another breakout.
No, I 100% agree.
Yeah.
And I
Is-
kind of run over out of breath, and I'm like, yeah, I agree. I think we should probably try and lay low for a little while. Whew.
Thokk, do you is there a direction you know we should go? Can you talk to your god or
I can try.
I just think wandering aimlessly in the forest seems like a terrible idea. So if we at least have a direction, I'd be more inclined to travel in a group.
What I will share is that from where you're at the outside of this riverbed, you are very far away you're fairly far away from the mountain. Not to the point where if you sprinted, you could get to the foot of it. You're a fair distance away.
Better to be safe than sorry.
Okay. I am going to take my incense
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to start casting divination. That I can ask a single question of a specific goal that occurs in the next 7 days. The GM offers a truthful reply. It could be a cryptic rhyme or omen or a short phrase. And say,
Really quick, if I may, is that what you used previously when you guys were in the cave?
oh, it's the same day. You're right. It'll mess with the outcome. Okay.
Correct.
Then, just kidding.
You're
I'm
on
not
like
gonna do it.
day 1, so you have 6 more days.
Wait, divination's one that you can only cast every 7 days
No,
as well?
I can cast it. Like, it's just that if I cast it more than once, the circumstances may change by 25% with each casting, and it could.
Oh, okay.
I could receive a random reading that has nothing to do with what I ask
Gotcha.
if I
Gotcha.
cast. Yeah.
Well,
So
I mean, you've got a boat, and I assume that boat is in the ocean.
it's towards Flamingo Bay. If anybody knows where that is.
I do
I
not
don't even
what
know
that
where we
is.
are.
But
Yeah,
what
where
I'm,
are we?
what I'm saying is that a river tends to flow out into the ocean. So to start, maybe we just follow the river.
I think we need to figure out where we are first, because the boat can't pinpoint me if it doesn't know where to go.
No,
And didn't it take us like weeks to get here?
but
Yes.
what I'm saying is that societies tend to congregate around bays, around bodies of water. So maybe we'll find a town if we just start going. I mean, I'm just looking out for Donnar. I know he wants to get moving. Figure we at least start picking up our feet while we figure out how to commune with your ship.
Yeah, I agree. So walk and talk. And
Yeah,
Alder
and then-
can enjoy nature as we walk and talk.
Well, I mean, clearly you can see that I'm enjoying it quite a bit right now. But yeah, we also will probably want to. We did take a bit of a beating in there, so we're probably going to need to rest up at some point too. So if we don't find a place to stay, we definitely are going to have to find a place to settle down and camp for the night.
DM, you said that it was the sun was setting, right?
I was saying it was around 2 or 3, so
2 or
it's
3.
going towards to set, but not for another 4 or 5 hours.
Okay. Well, I say we go try to find a cave or something.
Without numbers, how's everyone looking again? Just a reminder.
Poor.
Meh.
I've looked better.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm all right, but I'm definitely not great.
DM, do I notice anything moving, watching us alive in the area?
Go ahead and roll an investigation check since you're looking for something to be following you.
And I'm going to go ahead and cast Mass Cure Wounds while he does that.
Okay.
13.
You don't really see anything. You hear the ever-present sounds of the forest. As Thokk kind of kneels down and he puts his hand to his chest plate and his shield down as this yellow-white radiance starts emitting from his chest and slowly pushing itself outwards towards the three of you.
That is 22 hit points to everyone. Life Cleric.
Life Cleric. And it feels like kind of like you kind of get this sensation, almost this taste in your mouth of this kind of pure radiance, and it's almost like tangy.
Woo, Thokk, you better stop doing that or I'm going to fall in love with you.
I'm already spoken for, sorry.
So
No, thank you, though. That felt real nice.
You're welcome.
I will let you know that the things that you do have with you are pretty waterlogged at the moment since you went through a river. So you're all pretty kind of soaked to your core, just so you know.
I pull out a flask of ale. I take a swig.
And your ale has been unharmed because it was corked very well. And the rest of your libations are also very well sealed.
I miss that.
You going to share there, buddy?
No. Get your own.
Okay. Are there any berries around?
Go ahead and roll an investigation.
13.
After some time, I'll say about 15 or 20 minutes, you're able to kind of rudimentary get these kind of like berries together of different bushes. Go ahead and roll a nature check.
To see if they're poisonous.
Yeah.
You might be behind a tree for a while.
16.
16. So you're able to kind of differentiate between ones that are a little bit more rough to pass. And you have a good, I would say 2 handfuls of just these kind of raw berry.
All right. And that check, I know which ones are poisonous, so I'm...
Yes.
Okay, fair to say I'm safe. All right. Does anyone have like a bucket?
A bucket.
We just fell out of a mountain.
Yeah, I just
I'm
want
with
something
him on
like
this
that.
one.
I've got to say, I'm out of buckets right now.
All right. I'll just hold on to these then.
Just in your hands?
No, I think I thought I had some like...
I literally thought he was gonna just hold. He was gonna be like,
I got him.
now.
"I've got these berries now.
Let me check.
These are mine."
Oh, I think I just have twigs. Yeah, I'm just holding them into my hand.
Maybe you can weave a basket.
Real quick, you said it was like a handful, but like my handful or like a human handful?
I would say it's a Donnar handful. So it's a pretty hefty handful. It's not dainty like if it was an Alder handful.
All right. Then yeah, guys, are we hanging out here?
Oh, I thought we were walking and talking.
I think we've been walking and talking.
Oh, we have? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking at the map and that got me all confused. Then yeah, I'm just gonna hold it in my hand for now.
We are doing what they call a West Wing walk and talk.
Oh
It's a
yeah,
show. It's a
Awesome.
show.
that's like
It's
a bird
show.
thing, right?
Do you
Yeah.
show us the berries?
Can I show you the berries?
No. Does he like
Oh.
Dremmell show us the berries, like, or does he just
It's
pick
got to
them?
be hard to hide.
I mean,
That's
I'm walking just like I'm not hiding them. No.
That's a Dremel question, baby.
I
Yeah.
kind of like peek over to his hands. And can I see if they're like poisonous or not?
Sure, go ahead and roll a nature check.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't have been the one to check this.
No.
Woof. 5 minus 1, 4.
You
look
can't
great.
really. They look good. So good.
So good.
So tasty. So you all four begin walking. Dremel with these berries in his hands. Aya is kind of careening in and past through the trees and coming back, and she's finally gotten an opportunity to kind of stretch her her wings and her legs, so to speak. You see her diving and occasionally getting different kinds of like very small prey like field mice and nothing extreme, but she's obviously very hungry. She hasn't been eating properly for the past few months. As we will move over as you follow the river, kind of the sounds of the river, you make it to another kind of pass. You see a walkway, and at the far end, you kind of see like a very old, dilapidated kind of canoe. And you'll see at the bottom left, you see kind of like this old makeshift bridge that was made probably quite some time.
So we're about here right now.
You're about her,
Hold on, do that again.
where all your pieces are.
I don't see him. Oh,
Top
there
left
they are.
corner.
Gotcha.
We are here.
Just zoom out a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
So West Wing walk and talk. We're doing a lot of walking.
Yeah, we are.
Let's hear
Well,
that talking, baby.
Do we take the boat or the bridge? Because the boat could take us to deeper water, which could be a good thing or a terrible thing. Or we could take the bridge and just keep walking for as long as humanly possible.
I think we should probably take a second to kind of assess this situation. I am the smallest one here, and I worry about that particular boat. I don't know if it necessarily looks that sturdy. And you guys are all built like brick shit houses, so I'm not sure if it can handle all four of us.
I'm gonna go investigate the boat.
Okay. So, Dremmell, you get over to the boat and go ahead and roll a investigation check for me. I got you. Don't worry.
Thanks. 16.
As he runs, I take another swig of ale.
Okay. I'm going to need you to roll a con check for me there, Donnar.
Con
He already
check or
wasted.
Save.
Just a con check.
12.
Getting a little buzz going. It's been
Alright.
a few months since you've drank.
Yeah.
So, Dremmell, with your 16, you kind of see it looks like this wood has been out for so long and it's been sun bleached almost that it seems the wood has almost been petrified to a certain extent. And as you kind of run your fingers along the side of the boat, you see very carved, kind of crudely, you see SS Tari.
How do you spell Tari?
Tari. And the I has a little accent.
Hey, anyone ever heard of Tari?
No, have I ever heard of Tari?
Go ahead and roll a history check. See if you've ever heard of Atari.
Oh, that's what I roll high on? Hold on.
I'm going to
18.
roll as well.
Sure.
It's 17.
17. Okay, go ahead.
18.
18. Anyone else trying to figure out if they know Atari?
I'm not even gonna bother.
The name doesn't really ring a bell.
No, no Tari. I'm gonna walk over to him or head over that direction as well
Okay.
and look at the condition of the boat.
Okay.
With it being petrified and everything, do I know if it still floats?
You can attempt to test it by putting it in the water. But like I said, it looks a little dilapidated. It looks a little rough, wear and tear. It's been here for quite some time. And it is a little rowboat. It's not like a huge boat. It looks like it could fit two, very decent sized people, not three monsters and a regular person.
And
Monsters.
An elf.
Did we
Okay.
No,
lose
you're
Carlos?
one of the monsters.
Yeah,
I think we
Um,
lost Carlos.
we did.
All right.
Okay.
Um,
So
I just kind of look at Alder, and I'll be like, well, considering from where I'm at, I think I'd be able to tell that it's probably not going to fit the four of us. Yeah? DM?
yeah, I would say
Being
would-
about
that's it.
how much boat they look like they'd take up, considering we can see it from where we are.
It looks like if you really squished it, it could fit you and Alder.
It's not going to fit us all. Should probably just keep walking. We could take the path down. What do you think? Aren't you nature something or other?
I mean, could take the bridge. Or if we wanted to take a breather for a little while, I could try getting a better lay of the land to see which way we might want to go.
That might not be a bad idea to
I
take.
could at least kind of give us an idea about like what's. Let me see for sure. I believe it's probably about like the next 3 miles or so. What might be around?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to attempt to do that, is it a
Okay.
spell? Or-
Yeah, it's a ritual casting commune with nature.
Okay. So if you want to take the next 10 minutes or so to kind of set up shop while Dremmell and Thokk are kind of experimenting with the boat to see if it even floats.
I'm gonna sit down, pull another swig of ale, and just short rest.
Okay.
So I'll take even longer than we normally would, but I wanna rest up. I've been kind of beaten to shit.
Okay. So you're going to take like a 30 for your short
Yeah.
rest. Okay. So during the short rest, Donner's kind of just sitting on a little rock as he's just pulling from this this ale bottle isn't small by any means. It's not like a regular beer bottle. It's kind of the specification.
Oh, we lost him.
I mean, it still sounds carbonated who did you lose?
You for a second. I didn't hear that description at all.
Nothing. It's just it's kind of in a larger vessel. It's more of like a wine bottle. When he opens it every time to take another swig, you hear like a satisfying pop as there's still carbonation in there. As you know, Donnar, while you're drinking, go ahead and roll another con check for me.
All right. That is 9.
9?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're starting to get a little toasty. Alder, what does commune with nature specify again?
Okay, so you briefly become one with nature and gain knowledge of the surrounding territory in the outdoors. The spell gives you knowledge of the land within 3 miles of you. The spell doesn't function where nature has been replaced with construction, such as dungeons and towns. You instantly gain knowledge of up to 3 facts of your choice about any of the following subjects as they relate to the area: terrain and bodies of water, prevalent plants, minerals, animals, or peoples, powerful celestials, fays, fiends, elementals, or undead, influence from other planes of existence, and buildings. You could determine the location of powerful undead in the area, the location of major sources of safe drinking water, and the location of any nearby towns.
So what you get from your 10-minute kind of powwow is the stream, as you figured out, is very safe to drink from. The mountain is very much towards the west, and it does have the prison within it, and that being the largest settlement within recent information. And the third one is that there is to the south some kind of hustle and bustle, but not, I wouldn't say to the extent of like a town or even a village.
Just like maybe some people.
Maybe.
Well, with talking to the wilds, pretty much all I can find is the water's safe. The biggest kind of town or settlement that we really have around here was the prison in the mountain. And then to the south, it seems like there's some commotion. Nothing bad, just sounds like there might be some civilization, but it doesn't sound like much.
Is that the direction that the stream is flowing, or is it going the opposite way?
It's the direction where the bridge is.
But is that the way the river's going as well?
It's kind of moving towards that direction, yeah.
So
I guess my guess would be take the bridge and see where it takes us.
hoof it, and don't worry about the boat.
Are we not still at the boat?
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
that's
still
not
at
the
the
boat.
Oh, sorry. We would probably be up here now. I took a short rest though, so.
Okay, and then what are you guys doing at the boat?
Do I want to look inside the boat? Less
Okay.
less inspecting for strength of it. I know we can't use it, but I want to see because I'm intrigued by this SS Tari.
Okay, go ahead and roll an investigation check for me.
8.
It is a boat.
It's I'll let you kind of take the next 30 minutes to really kind of go in depth with this boat, even with the 8. You get the feeling that this was a handcrafted boat as opposed to like a boat that's professionally made by, say, a wood cobbler or ones to make wooden boats. It looks like it was all one piece, like it was made out of a log. There are slight imperfections. The SS Tari is, like I said, very crudely carved in towards the bow of the boat. You see that there is a very small heart that has carved in it T plus V. Looking inside, you kind of find this kind of waterlogged, dilapidated kind of journal. And as you open it up, it's in a... what languages do you speak?
I speak Common, Elvish, Giant, and a few words of Dwarvish.
It doesn't seem to be in a language that you know or are familiar with.
All right. Hey, I found this this book. I can't read it. Anyone speak? And I just hold it up. This.
I look
What do you speak, Thokk?
dwarvish, orcish, primordial.
No.
And I got Druidic, Elvish, and Sylvan.
Doesn't seem to be any of those either. Donnar?
Celestial, Common, Primordial, and Sylvan.
No, it doesn't seem like it's anything that kind of rings a bell. It does seem to be an older language, but it doesn't seem threatening or intimidating.
Well, I'll put that in my bag. So it's
You stole someone's journal.
this whole boat's like dead. I'm not even sure
true.
if these people are around. But here's my
Maybe
thing.
it's haunted. Ooh.
Spooky.
And then the
Don't
boat
joke.
starts floating.
Don't joke about that. I've seen my fair share of hauntedness. Heard stories.
I mean, that sounds like a story for around a campfire.
I sense for evil and good. No, I don't know. I'm just kidding. I can't. I
It's
just
all
won't.
bad.
I'm
You
a
sense
nightmare
evil
human.
everywhere.
Oh no.
I'm gonna kill you on your sleep.
That was That was old Thokk anyway, so new Thokk doesn't have that.
Oof, that could have came in handy.
So,
Well, I mean, I can. I just can't do it now.
Well, did
so-
Alder relay that information to us already about the stuff going to the south, or was that only to Donnar?
That's an Alder question.
I would say yes. Yeah, I would relay that.
Well, see, I figure we're going to be going south anyway, and it looks like this river goes that way, so why don't we just take the boat with us? It's not going to be that heavy if it's in the water.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming that the people who made this, because it's handcrafted, maybe that's the people who are in that hustle and bustle, like you said. Maybe it's a village. Maybe this is one of their boats.
I would probably say we should not take it because we did just escape from prison and we don't want to just take something that we found on the side of the road. Like, what if it does still belong to someone? Then we get accused of stealing and then we keep going back and forth and back and forth. I just don't want to go to jail again.
If someone asks for it, we can point them in the right direction and just tell them where it is.
See, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I guess. I just wanted a boat.
Well, we're about to go on my boat, so...
I mean, Thokk has a big boat, so...
Yeah, but that's Thokk's boat. I want a Dremmell boat.
I can't help you there.
Dremmell, we can acquire you a boat
Man, okay.
eventually.
Maybe we'll...
That sounds fun.
This is Tyree's boat, so...
Maybe we go on Thokk's boat a little bit, find some work, get some coin. Maybe you could buy yourself your own boat.
Yeah, that way I know what I'm looking for in a boat.
Yeah, you know, you get experience on a boat. You know what makes a good boat. Yeah, right, Thokk? That's how it works.
I'm going to start walking because
sure.
these guys are just talking about boats and Donnar doesn't give a fuck.
Well, honestly, you can make some coin on my boat. Like, we do some odd jobs and we get paid for it, but some are odd, others are just fishing. Like, if you need money, like, I can help you raise money. It'll take some time, but...
Well, I'm gonna want to get back to my home at some point, so I definitely will potentially take you up on that.
Yeah.
So, which direction are we going? Are we crossing the bridge?
Bridge.
Yeah, let's cross the bridge.
Yeah.
Wait, which
Okay.
way is Donnar going since he already started walking without us?
That's a Donner question.
I am heading in the direction we agreed upon before we
bridge.
started talking about boats.
So the bridge.
Yeah,
Character.
don't tell me what to do.
Just trying to follow
Nobody
you,
tells
man.
me what.
I'm
to
the
do.
captain now.
Oh, yikes.
You're not
I'm-
my dad.
I'm
Dad.
the
This game.
Okay.
Oh, I left the journal there.
You left the
Okay.
journal there?
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh god.
Would I have
I'm
been
the
able
captain.
to memorize any of the symbols in it?
I mean, you could attempt to.
Before we move on, can I just scribble down a couple sentences in my book,
Go ahead
or like that
and
extra book
roll,
that I had?
roll a performance check. See if you can mirror the kind of handwriting.
All right. 7.
Yeah, it's very
You did your best.
bad.
So,
okay.
For whatever reason, you put it in your offhand and like it just didn't work out.
I tried
Yeah,
using my
it's-
mouth to write with it.
It's weird.
It's just weird.
So you have this little trail that goes down here. Go ahead and all roll perception checks for me.
Perception.
15.
18.
1.
Natural 20 for a 29.
Jesus Christ. So all of you kind of hear very
Except for
far, except for Dremmell, in the distance to about here. You got to hear this grunting, like.
Like, do I recognize it as like someone or something?
It sounds like people vocal cords.
I'm gonna stop the group and be like, there's someone ahead. I'm gonna make sure that my disguise is still up, Because I'm assuming like every hour I kind of have to reset it.
Yeah,
If it's the hat, I don't know how the hat works compared to casting the spell.
I would agree with that.
Right. So I'll recast my appearance to make sure I don't look like a half orc.
Got it. Okay. Anyone else gonna let Dremmell know about the grunting?
No.
I tell everybody.
Damn it.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. There's someone ahead, so you probably are not gonna want to look the way you look now.
I'm gonna I really can't do anything. So I will just move forward here stealthily,
Okay.
trying to get a visual on whatever is making that noise.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a stealth check.
14.
14. Okay.
And then,
So-
I was gonna go ahead and hit my staff on the ground twice, and since I can't disguise myself, try and cast Pass Without a Trace to kind of blend in with the trees and move forward.
You can also roll a stealth check for me, please.
I would have done that before he went ahead, but whatever. 29.
Noted.
Jesus.
Plus
And
10.
then I'll probably.
Anyone else got some shisty stuff they're doing?
Yeah, I'm also going to disguise self and make myself look kind of like Alder, but like still me, but like his height and not blue.
So, okay, so you're, but still cow face.
No, I'll look more. I'm gonna look like Alder, just punk.
So you're gonna look like a like costume, alternate costume for Alder in a fighting game.
Yeah. Like I'll still have my
So-
black hair and the beard. Well, I can't have a beard because I'm an elf.
And then are the tips blue as opposed to green with Alder?
Yeah, let's go with
Nega
that.
Alder.
Yeah,
Oh my
Nega
god.
Alder.
Mega Alder.
I hate animals.
Kick, punch.
He
Okay.
couldn't even say that. That would upset him too much.
Yeah, I wouldn't
So-
like that.
So Donnar, you're kind of leading this party as this kind of like grunting and almost exasperation is kind of picking up as you kind of find yourself and you see this very tiny little cottage. There is a chimney that's kind of slanting to the side. It looks like it's been there for a very long time. And let me see here. I just got to reposition you guys a little bit. Boop. Turn the page. And you kind of see this little, very old lady trying to pick up this axe. It looks like she's trying to go towards this tree. You see a couple of strike marks in it, but she's like, you see her pick up the axe again. And she goes, if you're going to stare, you might as well do it. Help me out here.
I'll walk forward, grab the axe, and start swinging.
Danke. And you
Yeah,
see her, and she sits on like a little stump, and you hear her bones kind of creak and like pop.
So in between hacks, I'll kind of get out some questions. I'll be like, where's the gentleman of the house? Isn't he supposed to do this for you?
Why are you trying to get with an old lady here?
Maybe. Experience beats youth all day.
It's very flattering, but and you see her, and she kind of adjusts her glasses. She's like, "What's she doing in there in the forest, in the trees?" As she's making straight eye contact with Alder.
I really miss nature.
Are you like a pervert?
Yes, he's exactly like a pervert.
Well, all right, come on, let's see you, perv. And you see her, and she kind of waves over. She's in this kind of like little like Afghan. It looks like she kind of knitted. Her hair is pulled up into this kind of goldish blonde hair that are very silver and gray at the tips and the crown. These very thick glasses that she keeps kind of fiddling with, that she's kind of hunched over. And it looks like there's some attempts at kind of these big logs that just have dust all over them. Like she maybe cut them a long time ago, or maybe the man of the house did, and she hasn't been able to move them.
Somebody else want to help this nice lady? Or
We're-
just me?
Definitely
Yeah, I can do
not
it.
my expertise.
And I walk.
Oh,
Go ahead.
no, it's good.
Oh.
Good.
He's just a pervert. He's not good at much.
No, but I can do it.
I'll help as well.
And as I walk up, I'm gonna hand my berries all to Donnar. And say, keep these safe.
I'm hitting a tree with an axe.
Oh, you're helping. I thought you were trying to just.
Yeah.
Who's not helping?
No.
I'm
Alder.
not helping. I'm not strong. Just like you aren't strong if you're trying to be me.
Oh
The
no.
old lady also isn't helping.
I still walk up to Alder. Brother, here, hold these. It's not your fault that
not-
you're weak.
We're not brothers.
Oh, Alder.
What is going on?
And I give him a little tousle, like hair tousle, because I'm like a quarter inch taller than him.
What is happening? Are my glasses like? And you see her, and she's kind of wiping the glasses, and she goes, "You're gonna have to, don't move as much right now. I get a little queasy because you're all blurbs right now."
Where would you like this relocated to?
I said I wasn't deaf. Why are you yelling?
I'm not yelling.
And you see her kind of like adjust. She goes, "Oh, you're all very young, strapping men. Oh, okay. There is a pile I was attempting to make in the back of the of my cabin. If you wouldn't mind, I will fix tea. I will be right back. Oh, I haven't had visitors in so long." And you see her, and very slowly, like she's going at like -2 miles an hour, and she's like, "Come on."
Can I tell if this woman is genuine or if she's like a secret spy for the prison and about to rat
Go
us
ahead
out?
and roll an insight check to see if this old lady. Okay, Captain Marvel, you're gonna
Hey,
punch
you-
a scroll.
Hey, you don't.
I'm
you don't
gonna
know
do one of
these
those too.
Okay.
I'm skeptical.
I'm also
sitting
skeptical.
here holding my berries.
I'm not.
My berries.
So- That's a 19.
I
19,
rolled an 11.
11.
You said that was perception. No, what was it?
Insight.
That's
Insight.
insight.
14.
I mean, this lady looks so genuine that she almost looks like she's about to piss herself. She's so excited.
Okay.
I hope you
Came
boys
out
like
a little
Earl
bit.
Grey. That's all I have, unfortunately. The shipment hasn't come in a few months. What's I supposed to pick? I
Yeah,
don't-
that's great.
Oh, great,
Mind isn't-
fantastic.
Mine isn't what I used to, boys. And she kind of goes into the cabin. I'm just gonna put her there.
How am I doing on this tree?
You're a little drunk, so go ahead and roll me an athletics check at disadvantage, my guy.
All right, I'm about it. It's not going to be super. Oh, the second one was a natural 19. It's still a 14.
Okay, so I mean, you're making leeway. You're not entirely sure. Remember, because you've chopped wood before as a child, but not to the extent of like, I don't know if
True.
it's been long enough where you're like, where do I kind of cut where so it falls the way I want it to fall? So after a few moments, it kind of starts to creak towards you, and towards this little area that you guys kind of have here. I would say here, and it's gonna go that way. Go towards where yeah.
I'm going to step to the side.
You kind of swagger over to the side as it poof, and she goes. You hear her from like she opens kind of these windows, and you don't even see her. You just see the top of her head. That's how short she is. She's like, "Is that the tree? Did it fall down?
Yes.
Please be a lamb and go ahead. Can you clean that and put that in the back where the rest of the wood is? I'd be ever so grateful."
Clean.
Is there another axe?
Go ahead and investigate. See if there are any. But there's like some tools by the side of the house.
Ugh, natural 1. That's a no.
Nope.
No, you
No
find
more.
all these different kind of like I'll say through your natural one, you were able to find a whole bunch of like gardening tools and kind of trimming shears, and occasionally you'll find like a shoe that shouldn't be in with the toolboxes. Just different kind of accessories that don't really belong on the side of a shed.
Okay.
I'll just start cleaning this tree in order to bring it to the back.
Okay, so you start chopping down the different branches. You start getting rid of the brush. You kind of put all the brush into this pile, and you're able to. It's this very. This was a huge tree. She was kind of attempting to cut down, to the extent that it basically, if Thokk were to hug it, he wouldn't reach around it. It would probably like half of it would reach around where his hands are. She's ambitious. So it took you a while, but you're able to get it and clean it up. And it's just this very long log that you probably would need help to move.
Would anyone like to help me move this to the back? Or should I do it myself?
I'll help.
I walk over and find a twig off of it, and I pop it, and I carry it back to the back.
Go ahead. Yeah. What's up?
In order to help, I'll cast guidance on the two of them to try and to help Drunky McGee get it back there.
So you can either attempt to roll it individually, or if Donnar picks it up, he would be rolling it straight, as along with Thokk, you would be rolling it straight. Stop drinking.
Yeah.
It's up to you. Do you want to do it, or do you want me to do it, or do you want us both to individually do it?
Let's both. Fuck it. Let's just both roll. We get a plus
so you can
4
add
because of guidance, right?
Plus a D4.
A D4. Right. Strength check.
Strength check.
Oh, you're gonna be upset about that one. Sorry.
Am I?
Yeah.
23.
Hold on. Math is hard. 26.
Okay. So you're able to kind of swinch it on your back as you kind of both deadlift this onto your shoulder. It takes you a while to get it to the back of this little old lady's cabin. And by the time you get there and Dremmell is kind of sitting there are all these different kind of stacks of wood, and it looks to be this kind of wood carving table and station that is just riddled with old wood dust and different kind of carving tools and whatnot. As you kind of hear the other side of the window kind of open, and she's going, "Okay, tea's ready if you'd like to come in."
And I'll stop Thokk before we start heading back in towards the tea and whatnot, and I'd be like, Thokk, I'd like to talk with you tonight about some things.
Yeah. That's no problem whatsoever. So
if we could take first watch, or maybe go for a walk or something, it'd be preferred.
no problem.
I appreciate that, and I'll kind of put a hand on his shoulder, smile warmly, and walk towards the cottage.
As he walks away, I kind of like raise an eyebrow, and I'm like, "Oh, okay," and just follow. Yeah, like the fuck, and follow him, because that's the first like sign of humanity he's shown, really.
Yeah. Hardy boys, what are you guys doing?
I mean,
Was I still in the back?
I'd say you're in the back.
So did I hear them talking?
You might have heard them murmuring. I don't know, were you trying to eavesdrop?
No, I was going to talk to them about the carving station, though.
Well,
So I guess I left then.
put it in a pin, I guess.
I went to go talk to Alder about the carving station.
talk like yourself, Dremmell. I don't like this.
But I'm your brother, Alden.
I don't have a brother, Dremmell.
Oh, you're doing me. And I do like a double shoulder grab. But I'm still at his height, but I have my strength.
Yeah. And you're just like,
Oh my god, if this is like the sky's self, you're still your size. Like, so all he feels is these giant hands touching him.
Correct.
But they look real small.
They look really little.
They're very dainty.
Alder, roll for panic attack.
Dainty but shrunk.
I can tell you right now, it's a natural 20.
In talking to Alder, I say, okay, I'll drop the voice for you. But back there, it looks like it's a bunch of carvings. I think we might have found Tari.
Yeah, I mean, well, definitely. Let's get in there, get some tea. Let's talk to, see what she knows, find out some information.
Well, here's what I'm getting at. I think Tari might be her, but I think the creator of the boat might be her husband, who may no longer be here, because that boat did not look very safe. It looked old, it looked dilapidated. I'm just saying we should proceed with caution.
Yeah, no, of course.
Okay then, let's go. Brother,
Oh, I hate you so much.
can I have my berries back?
And then I hand them all back to him. And then I wait for him to turn around and I flick one that I held onto into the back of his head.
Can I turn around
Go
and
ahead
catch
and
it?
roll an go ahead and roll an attack. Do you have catch missile?
No.
Nope.
Natural 1.
So it just kind of goes. You kind of squeeze it in your hand and it just pops, and you get juice in your eye.
Hopefully it's not
Well,
poisonous.
and then I just take some of my water and
Karma, baby.
Take 1 point of berry damage.
Embarrassment.
Do
Psychic
I
damage.
do I
more
know
like
that he threw it at me?
embarrassment.
No.
I would say you see that he squished a berry in his hand, and now he's holding his eye, going "ow," because the berry was super acidic.
Literally kill. So my eye. Like,
All right, then I just
Question-
laugh and keep walking.
Knowing how the sky self works, seeing the
Yes.
size of this woman's house, is it really small? Like, I'm 6'10". Do I like fit comfortably in this house, or is it
I would
like
say
one of
you kind of like have to
those-
crouch a little bit.
Then I'm not gonna go inside because then it's gonna be obvious that a quote unquote 5'10" human.
So
And is, like,
you and Dremmell
oddly
are going to be outside.
I'm gonna just say, it seems like it's a lovely day out here. We should have our tea outside, and suggest us to have tea outside and not inside.
She goes, "What? You want to have your tea outside?"
Yeah,
it's a beautiful
I just
day.
want to agree with him and help convince her.
All right, and you see her, and she has these kind of like little 4 cups, and she goes, "Okay," and she goes into this little wheelbarrow, and she sits down, and she goes, "Please, if you would."
Then yeah, I kind of sniff at
No,
the tea.
she's holding all of it, and she goes, "If you would lift up the cot, there is a place we can all sit down."
Oh,
Uh,
okay,
All right. And I'll go over and lift the cart.
same.
Okay.
I'm
So she
busy.
kind of directs you, and she goes, I used to watch the stars at night here, and you can see all the constellations. It's very interesting. As you,
Can you see the moon?
oh yes, you can see the moon. Very beautiful. And eventually you kind of get to this little point where it's this kind of open brush. There's this little tent that you see that, once again, very similar to the boat. It's kind of dilapidated. She goes, I haven't been here in quite a time. And you see her, and she kind of sits. There's this little sitting log that she kind of sits by, and there's this very old remnants of a kind of a fire, and it's on this. Her tea kettle has like little tripod legs. She puts them down, and she kind of gestures. She's sitting on the ground in front of the log, as you all are kind of staring at this very old woman. Okay, so this is where you sit down, and we have tea.
I'll sit down.
I'll sit down as well.
Same.
So you see her, and she slowly kind of pours all the tea. And this is very kind of sweet, if only a little stale. It's not as fresh as tea that perhaps maybe Alder you've had in the past, or Thokk on your many different trips through the different kinds of seaports. But it's decent, and it's something that isn't cave water or gruel for the last 6 months. And so you see her, and she kind of, so what brings you over to my little humble cottage?
We were just walking downstream and happened upon it.
Yeah, we're not from here, so.
You're from other parts unknown? Please, I barely get out. I would love to hear a story.
Well, I come from a place called the Jade Abyss. That's where I reside.
Jade Abyss. I'm not too familiar. And you see her, and she kind of like wriggles forward, and you don't know if she's hunched over so much or she's excited, but her hands are on her knees, and she's like, meh.
Well, I mean, the area that I'm from, the Jade Abyss, is right outside the village of Yetvin. And then I like that place quite a bit. Because, and then I whistle and I go, and to call Aya down. This is my hawk Aya, and we're both very welcome there.
That is such a pretty bird. Hello, Aya. And she kind of like puts her very old hand out, and you're like, Aya does not like new people.
Yeah, I'd be like, I would. What was your name? I didn't quite catch that.
Oh, it is Vindran. My memory is so bad sometimes. And you see her, and she kind of puts her very shaky hand out, and you see Aya kind of close her eyes and put her head kind of in the palm of this old woman's hand, and she goes, "Oh, you're just a dear, aren't you?"
She really is.
Very, very strong eyes, and it looks like the wingspan is. And you see her, and she kind of like struts her very elegantly, kind of drapes her hand up as Aya kind of puts her wing out, and you see her kind of admire. Such beauty that is in nature. It's like it's almost art.
I couldn't agree more.
You see different patterns within Aya's kind of feathers, this kind of sheen that she has. As she kind of goes back over, hops back to kind of Alder's feet as she kind of sits and observes. So, the Jade Forest, tell me what brings you so far away from Yetvin? I'm sorry, I'm not very good with names.
Oh, it's quite all right. And what brings us over here is we're just looking for our next adventure, I guess you could say.
You are adventurers. So you have gone on many adventure. Please, I would love an adventure story. Wait, no. Don't tell me one yet. Are you looking to stay for a while?
I don't know how long we're looking to stay. We do have to kind of get a move on, but I'll leave that to the group.
Well, it has been some time since I have been able to make a proper dinner. If you would like, I have some tents, and I have some different pots and pans. And if you would like to camp out here, I haven't camped out here in so long. I would love to all make you a meal, fill your bodies, if you would just tell me a good story from your adventure. That a deal?
Yeah. I'll tell you a great story.
Well, I love stories. Don't waste them all now, but I would love to hear more about you. So, I'm sorry, you are from the Jade Forest, and what is your name, young man?
It's my name is Alder.
Alder. Okay, Alder. And you see her, and she puts up like a little pad, and she goes, I seem to forget if I don't write it down. And you see that she kind of goes through this pad, and she only flips like 1 or 2 pages, as she's got this little like lead in her pocket that she kind of, and I'm sorry, how do you spell that? Is that an A?
Yeah,
an
A
L
L D You
You
are. Mhm.
are.
Are.
Okay. Aldur. And do you have a surname that you are? I don't mean to press. I don't want to misstep the last name, perhaps. If not, I don't want to intrude. It's just once again very, very exciting. I'd like to see who else comes through here. Not many visitors, as you know.
No, I definitely understand. Honestly, I've been traveling for so long, I don't even remember it.
Well, that is okay. I don't remember mine either. So we will remain anonymous. So, Alder Anonymous, tell me, you are here with some other interesting people. Are these? I see your brother is here,
Hello. Yes.
and you see her, and she kind of wipes her glasses again. She's like, "You have to forgive me. It is the glasses. Sometimes the glare comes in. And what is your name?"
My name's Alden. I'm the younger but taller brother of Alder.
No, I see that you could possibly be taller than him, but younger brother. Okay, you said it was Alden, and then do you also have a last name, or it is also anonymous?
It is also anonymous.
Okay, Alden, Alzer. And you are also from the Jade Forest?
I am. I have not spent as much time there, though.
So you have spent time somewhere else.
I have. Would you like to hear about it? Or would you like to get
I've-
everyone's names first?
Thank you. That is a very good point. We will get to that all done. And you see her, and she kind of gestures over to Thokk.
Oh, my name is Thomas Daniels.
Thomas Daniels.
Yes.
Oh, so you're not following the trend of everyone else here.
No, I am not related to these two.
Well, I see that you're very different.
Yes, I come from a very, very far country.
Do I get the feeling that she can see through the disguises?
I mean, you can attempt to see that. Go ahead and roll an insight.
That woman can't see past her glasses.
Natural 20.
She kind of like looks at her through her glasses a lot. Like she's not entirely sure what she's seeing.
Okay.
So, Mr. Daniels, what brings you? Obviously, you're not from the Jade Forest. Where are you from?
I'm from a little port town called Shenisport. It's very far from here.
Shanisport.
Shenisport, yes.
Tell me, Shanisport, what is your main export?
The main export of Shenisport is fish, but I was
Fish.
a blacksmith there. Yes.
What kind of fish? I love fish. I haven't had fish in so long. I mean, you have the occasional river trout and the occasional snapper. And she starts kind of rattling off these kind of fish names as she's kind of trying to remember them. And you see her kind of pull out the notebook, and she kind of flips through, and she goes, "Oh, there was once I saw a tuna, and it was what I've written down about the size of my forearm. So it's very big fish."
Tuna is very popular there, yes. Some grouper as well. It's a very delicious fish, very large, but it's a little assortment of everything.
But you said that you were a blacksmith. What? Tell me, what was your best piece you had ever smithed?
Oh, it is a beautiful, great sword that I did for a nobleman with a red ruby jade hilt on in the end.
Ruby. That sounds very exquisite.
Yes, thank you.
And finally, Mr. Well, I feel like you're not drinking just the tea.
No, ma'am, I'm not. I'm a fan of the drink.
Oh no, I've met a few people like you. That's fine. So tell me, what is your name?
I'm Donnar.
Donnar. And what is, do you have a surname or you also remain anonymous?
Leap Deer is my surname.
Well, haven't met many leap deers, but you seem very kind, all of you. So,
Just
tell
'cause
me.
curiosity kind of sparked me. Can I tell if Donner is kind of like pulling the woman's leg or if he's like being honest?
Go ahead and roll an insight. Anyone else want to see if Donner's lying?
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Well, 15.
26.
Oh, natural
Jeez.
20.
What'd you get, Doc?
15.
You all kind of look at Donner and Donner, you lying?
No, I'm not.
There you go.
Okay.
Donner seems very genuine with this young lady.
There, I will say, I'm not lying, but there is hesitation.
Well, I am very glad you are here, Mr. Liebtier. So, it seems that, and she kind of looks over at the sun and she kind of puts her eyes over, her hand over her eyes. She goes, well, it looks like it could be a few hours into sundown, and I need to prepare the food. Is there any dietary restrictions or anything I should know about allergic to the mushrooms here?
I would love meat, please. Any sort of meat product would be
I think I can arrange that.
welcomed. Please, meat.
Mr. Daniels und Alden in Alder, anything that you are very susceptible to the tummy region.
No, no.
I'm on more of a vegetable diet, but I'll be happy with whatever you prepare.
Vegetables. Actually, and she kind of looks at all of you. She goes, could you do me the biggest favor? There are kind of wild fowl and vegetables within the area. I have a surprise for all of you. If you would give me the opportunity, if you could collect their ingredients, and then of course I will prepare them as you set up camp. But I have something that has piqued my my interest and my creativity.
Of course. Excuse
Okay,
me.
so some fowl, some vegetables.
Excuse
I
me.
finish my tea and pull some ale.
Okay. Yes, I'm sorry, Alden. Yes, sir.
I found these berries in the forest. I'm curious if you can use them in any way.
Huh. And she kind of looks, she goes, well, usually eaten raw, these can give you quite the shits. But I mean, if boiled down to a paste and distilled for quite some time, you could either make a sauce or ferment them into a wine. These are very quite common for the area.
Oh, no pressure. If you can't, that's okay. I just wanted to bring something to our humble, not guest, opposite of guest, host.
Well, you could give me a very good story.
Oh, yes, now we're after the fowl.
Well, I mean, if you don't feel like you're going to waste all of your stories at dinner, I mean, I would love to hear one while I work.
Let's save them all for dinner. I don't want to
Okay.
take priority over any of my companions.
Well, that is very kind of you. And she kind of looks around and she goes, well, I can't move the car. And she kind of, would anyone like to give me und left to the cabin?
Of course. And I'll pick her up.
Okay. And as you do, she kind of like teeters. And are you guys going to stay there or are you all going to kind of move with Donner?
I'm going to hold Thokk back.
Okay.
So we'll like start walking, then just kind of grab his shoulder.
Alder?
I guess I'm gonna start. I'll hang back with them, but start being on the lookout for the vegetables. And I do have a. It's not important. I'll talk to you later. So. for the DM.
Okay. And then do me a favor, everyone who gave a fake name to her, go ahead and roll a deception check. I forgot to do it.
Wolf.
Would I count as a fake name since I gave her the incorrect spelling?
No. Unless it gave you like a little rush and you're like, ooh.
It would be such a nerd.
Nat 20.
10.
Not 20, a 10. Okay. So, Donnar, as you're kind of pulling her forward, she kind of, you feel this very gentle hand on you, but it's surprisingly kind of firm. And she goes, I thank you for your honesty.
You're quite welcome.
Yes.
And I smile back at her.
Well, I see that you have been through some trauma. I will not press, but drinking that will expects you to poison the other person when in turn you're drinking the poison yourself. Food for thought.
I'm excited for food. It's been a while since I've had a good meal.
And I promise I will give you the best meal. Can you do me a favor?
Sure.
And you kind of like put the cart down, and she kind of sits there, and you see her, and she goes, "This is quite embarrassing," but and she kind of just pats her knee. Could you please sit? Trust me, it is for something. Just if you could, just humor old lady.
Donnar gonna get it.
And she kind of pats her knee.
Okay. And I'll sit.
You kind of awkwardly sit on this woman's lap, and it's surprisingly like you think you're gonna snap it off, like the barrel. It's surprisingly pretty firm, and she goes, It seems you've about 180, 195.
A little over 2, but I haven't been eating well, so maybe down more.
Don't worry, I will feed you. If you could, I need at some point before dinner, each one of your companions to do the old sit test for me.
Perfect. I can absolutely get them to do that.
Thank you. And you see her, and she goes, once again, sorry to be rude. Could you, and she kind of points at one of the very large logs, and she goes, can you pull that up to a vertical angle?
I can give it my best try.
Okay, go ahead and roll the strength check for me.
Nope. 12.
And it takes you a minute, and she encourages you a little bit. She's like, okay, you need to bend from the knees. How long has it been since you've lifted? And you're kind of like, ugh. And you see her, and she kind of gets her little wood carver tools, and you see the shaky little hammer and chisel, and you see in the first one, second one, and it seems like she kind of gains a rhythm after a while as she starts carving away at this log. As you kind of turn around, you're like, what the fuck?
I lean down to her, and I'm just like, how long have you been carving wood for?
I have been carving into wood, stone, marble. I was once a very good sculptor in my heyday.
Is there any chance that you have something lying around I could bring back to my son?
And she kind of stops and she goes, well, I can certainly make something for your son. What's your son like?
What about a horse? Or
like a rocking
mallet
horse
of some kind?
a mallet? I could very much carve something, but first mine surprise, and then I will make for your son.
Fair.
And what is your son's name? And you see her, and she takes out like her little pad.
I'd rather not get into that at the moment, if that's all right.
And she kind of puts her hand onto your abdomen because it's very hard for her to touch. And she goes, I understand. Very hot, but don't worry. We will make him the best horse and mallet that this side of the Iron Hills. And you see her, and she kind of makes a mental note, and you see her, and she kind of clicks back as you start seeing this shape starting to form in the wood.
And do I notice that there's no one behind me?
You turn around and you're like, no one's behind me. Well, you
Cool.
kind of noticed when she said, well, bring the rest of your friends. And you're like, the rest of my friends aren't behind me?
So I'll start heading back down to where they would be.
Okay. I'm just going to move her back. Okay. And so we are back to where everyone else is. So during this interaction, Dremmell, Alder, and Thokk, what are you guys doing?
I pulled Thokk back specifically just to say, hey, man, this only lasts for like another 45 minutes.
Yeah, we need to get going.
Look, all I got is I'm going to pretend I got bit by something, and at night I turn into a giant cow person. Because we need to find... This seems like the safest place to sleep, but I don't know. Something's off about her. Why is she writing in that book?
I don't know, but I think we need to go. I don't think this is gonna be the best way to, because we're gonna be being looked for. So, like, I don't think we need to get away further from this prison, because right now this is not gonna swing right.
How far are we from the river entrance?
From the river entrance of the mountain?
Yeah, like where we came out of.
You're fairly far from it. I would say at
Are
least
we?
like 3 or 5 miles away from it.
Okay.
You've been traveling for a little bit, and also the river kind of swept you very far. And even further the mountain is.
So we are pretty far.
You are fairly far.
Prison. Oh, okay.
I would say, for judging by the distance, you are at a safe distance, I would say, in the regards of it would take them some time, one, to figure out which direction you were going and how far you've gone.
Got it. And what time isn't it? Isn't it like...
I'll say it's like 4 or 5. It's starting to get a little bit dark towards nighttime.
Maybe we should just tell her that we're just really tired and would really love to go to bed now. And then get inside the tents before we turn back.
I don't know. I think my Werefurbolg story is pretty good. Look, if we don't go to
check.
if we don't go to dinner, she's gonna be real upset.
Can you do this again? Like, I have a hat, so my hat I can just do it again.
Oh shit!
But I don't know about you.
No, I'm out of spell slots.
You're tapped out. Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Can you take a... Do you need a short rest and you're okay? Or is it something that you have to wait till the morning to be able to do it again?
Let me check. I think I can do a short rest.
What if you eat the berries that she said will give you shit, and, like, you have, like, super bad shit and you can't make it to dinner, and, like, you have to, like, be away the entire time?
I mean, she's got all my berries now.
Oh, fuck. Never mind. Well, there goes that idea. Well, sure. Werefurbolg. Why not?
Alder,
what's the worst that could happen?
Alder, can you corroborate my story?
I mean, sure.
What do we say? That you have a condition that once the sun starts going down, you turn into this furry blue man? Like...
Yeah, like, because he's my brother, right? So we were brothers, and then I went off on an adventure. I went into these mountains, and I'm like, oh, this is great. And then it turns out that they're like these demon furbolg or something like that. And they bit me, and I turned into one at night.
Oh, my God.
Now say it without laughing.
There's no way.
And I turned into it at night.
Alder,
Yeah, no,
what you doing during this?
Walking away.
Hold up, Alder. Do you have any ideas? Because I'm fresh out of them.
The idea was probably you shouldn't have just disguised yourself to look like me, you dumbass.
Well, it's too late for that.
There's nothing we can do. Like, can anyone, like, modify her memory or something?
Should we just tell her the truth?
Why don't we go with that one? That's a good idea.
Is it though? like Donnar had mentioned before, were 4 fugitives that just broke out of a prison, telling her our actual names. And
That's why I
what?
didn't tell her my actual name.
I mean, you told her your name was Alder.
Yeah, but I had her spell it different. That's what's important.
Wow, that's
Oh.
a big difference.
Okay.
She doesn't seem like she's that wise. She might be like, oh, they're looking for Alder with an E. And she'll be like, no, I only meant Alder with a U.
Yeah.
Or she could be wise as fuck.
You think that the guards specifically are going to say, hey, we're looking for Alder with an E? Do you think they even know how to spell your name?
Did she ask me how to spell my name? Yes, she did.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
Donnar
right.
whatever. Going, you're an idiot.
Yeah, he's right. You're an idiot.
As you smash
little
an ale
red
bottle on
apple.
the floor.
Like,
You're dumb.
Donnar might be a pain in the ass, but he has a good point. Like, what if the prisoners or the prison guards come and find this old lady and be like, hey, have you seen these 4 fugitives? These are their names. And, hey, yeah, they were here. I wrote them in this book. Look.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, it's
Steal the
totally
book.
not a
Steal
great
the book.
idea, but... not a great idea, but I don't know how I feel about anything right now. I'm very confused. She started asking me way more questions than I anticipated, so didn't really have a whole lot of time to think on my toes.
Yeah, and why is she writing him in that goddamn book?
Didn't you take the first book? Maybe just... Or did you leave
No,
the
I
first
left
book?
it there. Because you guys wouldn't let me take the bow.
Oh, you might as well take it. You could have taken the book. You could put that in a bag.
Yeah, but, okay. I'm wrong. That's
Well-
fine.
Well, the task at hand right now. What the hell do we do when you turn back into a 7-foot, God knows how tall you are, blue cow man?
I am 7'11" and a half. Thank you very much.
Still
You're
growing.
welcome. 12 foot tall. You're welcome. I guess wear furbolg. Sure, that does sound like a great idea. Like, why not? Because my hat, at least I can like keep casting this shit. It's just once an hour. I gotta go take a leak and recast the damn spell.
Shit. Well, she doesn't seem like she knows much about the world. She knows that I got a real interesting story, and if I can time it just right, my reveal can be amazing. We'll blow her mind.
I mean, you can go for it. I'm gonna go try and find food.
All right, then. I guess I'll help you.
That's all we can do.
Thokk,
Looks as though
you keep
Thokk
just
might
walk
have
with us.
disappeared.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pretend
Yeah.
he's here and say, just come with us. Watch her back. Go take your leak if you need to.
Donnar, are you going to share anything with the rest of the party?
No. I'll be like, she's working on a surprise. I don't know what it is. What's been going on with you guys? You kind of just stopped following us. So, oh, and by the way, you all have to sit on a lap.
Well, shit.
No.
Don't have a choice. Sorry.
Alder, it's rude not to do what the host says.
It's true. She's gonna feed us. So the least we could do is take the knee test, as it were.
I guess so.
Is she going
I
to
did
feed
it.
us while we sit
Yes.
on her lap?
No, I don't believe that to be the case.
Okay. Just checking. No reason.
So quick question, Alden, right? Is that
Oh, yes,
That's
that's,
it, right?
me.
yeah? What happens when this is not this anymore?
Yeah. Fuck. I hate doing that voice. And
Stupid.
I look at Alder and just kind of wink at him. And yeah, so we were talking about that, and here's what I'm thinking. So I'm Alder's brother, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that as a young boy, I went off venturing into a nearby mountain and encountered a tribe of furbolgs, and I thought they were good people, but they bit me. So at night, I turned into like a furbolg werewolf, kind of a were-furbolg or a werebolg. So and what I'm trying to do is if I can time it right, as soon as I tell her that I got bit and at night I turn into a werewolf, I'm just gonna boom werewolf, and it's gonna be pretty impressive.
That might be the worst idea I've ever heard.
Yeah, but it's all we got, so...
Yep.
Here we
So
are.
let's just run with it, I guess.
Well, okay. I've got... Nah, fuck it.
Here we go.
We've already determined that that's better than the truth, so somehow that's where we are.
Shouldn't someone try and take this book that has our names in it and at least rip the page out or something?
Yeah.
That also seems like
Who's
a good idea.
Alder, you're probably the sneakiest.
Yeah, it's something that I could try to do, but we'll have to see how the day goes, I guess.
Yeah, well,
And,
everyone keep an eye out. She keeps it on her, right? You walk back with her, Donnar.
Yeah. Will she have like a pocket?
You see that it's kind of like she stuffs it into her like inside her cardigan pocket inside her little like granny vest.
Oh, inside. Okay, great. That's not going to be something that I could just easily get.
Well, she doesn't look like she can see very well, so you have that working for you. Maybe she might think you're just trying to grab a tit. Worst case scenario, you have to sleep with an old lady.
I mean, she does want you to sit on her leg.
It's true.
Slide over a little bit. Face the other way.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
I think you're being far too rigid.
That's very ageist of you.
I agree.
Get woke, Alder.
Stay woke.
And I give him a little punch on the shoulder. Like Orange Cassidy.
So what you doing, Alder? You're gonna try to Mrs. Robinson seduce the old lady?
No. No, because if we're going to fucking sleep here, the smart idea is maybe it's not going to be inside her goddamn sweater when she's sleeping.
Man, you make a good point. You should probably get those birds she asked for, though, right?
I'm upset about your commitment to the plan. I just want you to know that.
And I lean over to Donnar. Don't worry, I'll cast command to say fuck.
And Donna leans in and goes, I love you. and then
I hop up and give him a peck on the forehead.
Even though you're already that size.
What? No, I'm Alder
Yeah.
height, not Donnar height.
doesn't
You
you
seem alter height, but you're still actually you height.
Oh,
So
okay.
you
Then
just kind of punch him in the head with your solar plexus.
yeah, chest bump.
Chest bump in the head.
Oh.
So
Hey, Thokk, you find any foul out there?
I don't know that I find any foul. Sorry about that.
we're good. Go ahead and roll a survival check. See if you see any pheasant or fowl or quail.
Thought you were wait.
Oh, that's gonna be a hell no. That's a 7+. I don't even know what is it. Survival.
Yeah.
12.
Oh, you're seaman. You carry fish and shit. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, all the seamen. What?
You're able to find like small kind of birds
You're
and
gonna fuck an old
quails.
lady.
Go ahead and roll a d6 for me there, Thokk.
And then roll 3 more d6.
2.
So you're able to catch at least 2 quail. As you kind of have them in your
Ooh.
hands. You kind of punch them in the head and you're like, I think they're knocked out.
Do we want them dead?
I mean, unless you're trying to eat them alive, yeah.
Can I just snap the neck?
Jesus, you fucking monster. How are you going to snap them in the neck if you're holding both? You got to whip them.
How am I
You gotta
holding
whip.
them? Am I
By
holding
their
them by their neck?
legs. By their legs.
Oh.
You got to whip them.
Him on a rock.
I'm not gonna
I'm gonna look away.
dash its head on a rock. That's not how you kill a bird.
Not how
Oh,
you
how did-
kill a bird.
We snapped the neck back home, and this is Carlos in real life kind of talking.
How does the little old lady kill the bird?
I bring the birds to the old lady and she can do it.
Is that what you're doing, Thokk?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're like, fuck it. The old lady's got to kill her fucking food. And you see Thokk, and he kind of storms out as Dremmell and Donnar are just giving him shit about trying to kill the quail.
Dremmell's. It's not how you kill a bird. Just I can't stop hearing it.
So it's been, I would say, in the course of you trying to travel and get the quail and all that, it's been about 45 minutes because you have to actually hunt for it. And everyone's kind of branched out and everyone's kind of been talking and doing their own thing as they've been trying to hunt. And as you kind of get back, you see that there's this kind of very handsome chair that it seems that this little old lady is carving out of that has a D at the head where kind of the back of the head goes. And you see her and she's kind of like sanding it down and she goes, almost done. And she goes, oh, Mr. Daniels, I see that you have 2 pheasants. Very good. They still seem to be alive, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm not the best at killing birds. I'm used to dealing with fish, so
No,
I figured.
I understand. And you see her and she goes, do you have a knife?
Do I have a knife?
Smack him
I
on
would
the
assume
rock.
you have like a knife on your side pocket or something, like a dagger.
I have a dagger. Yeah, I have a dagger.
Okay, so you kind of like, she goes, okay, so kneel down. And you kind of kneel down on one knee. And she kind of gets the dagger out and she goes, my hands are not the same as they used to be. And you see like her hand is kind of like shaking involuntarily. And you see very quickly and efficiently she's able to slit. And the pain is instant and then leaves these quail as they kind of go limp in your hand. She goes, unfortunately, I hate that part, but they give to us life and nurture. And they had very fat tummies, so they lived very good lives. If you could, please, and you see kind of like this clothesline, I need them to drain. If you could put them very far away from the work area and put them over there as they drain. You kind of do this, and she kind of sits down at like this little stool, and she goes, well, have you run into Mr. Donnar yet?
No, not yet. Let me look for him. And
Well, wait. If you could please humor me. And she kind of,
I will.
That's
I just have to go to the restroom real quick. I apologize.
you have
I'll
to
be
go to
right
the
back.
restroom. I mean, there is a outhouse in the back, and you kind of like, I gotta go pee.
I gotta go pee. I'm sorry. And I just book it somewhere where she can't see me so I can recast this damn spell.
Okay, go ahead and recast your damn spell.
Oh my god, he's gonna sit on her lap and she's gonna be like, what the fuck?
No. fuck
You're gonna
that.
snap this old lady's leg.
Well, I make sure that I'm like, again, part of knowing how this spell works, I'm a human and I made myself a blacksmith on purpose because I clink a lot, and I made sure that I made myself a fat man. So like,
As
even
a
though
fat man.
yeah, like I want to make sure that like my Thokk weight carries over to my human Thomas weight, if that makes sense.
That is fair.
But I'm not gonna sit on this woman's lap. Good luck. Oh, but okay,
Rude.
I go pee.
And you come back and you see her and she's kind of blowing off the dust and you see this very fine finished hair. She goes, well, I have to still varnish it, but that could be for later. Okay. So, and you see her and she kind of pats at her.
No, I surely I can't. That's
Well,
not
I can't, Thomas, I
necessary.
can't make you a chair if I don't know how much you weigh.
I don't like. I like sitting on the ground. It's very comforting.
Nonsense.
Very comfortable.
Everyone deserves their own chair,
No.
Thomas. Please, I
No,
insist. You're going to break an old woman's heart.
I apologize. I've broken many old women's hearts in the past, but I'm not breaking yours. Like, and I'm gonna have to break yours because I'm not sitting on your. It's better your heart than your knee.
No, I have very strong knees. Please,
No.
just humor me. It's been so long since I've had visitors, and I just want everything to be perfect.
Oh, everything is perfect. You have been such a gracious hostess, and we could not be more thankful for anything. But trust me, if you want this visit to be as perfect as it is, you are not gonna sit on your lap. I'm good.
Please, Mr. Thomas.
How about I give you gold and then we just say that I sat on your lap?
I don't want gold. I
gold.
don't know if you've seen it, but there's not much for trade here. Please.
3 gold. Old lady, you are very sweet. God bless you. But I'm not sitting on your lap.
I haven't fight about the name. I understand. It's just I'm not going to push that further. What are you hiding? Are you afraid you're going to break my knee? And you see her, she puts out this very creaky knee.
Yes, I'm very much afraid that I'm going to break
It's a
your
very
knee.
big one just sat on my lap. And knee,
How-
hear it. And you hear...
How much did the very big one weigh? I'm a very rotund man. I weigh over 300 plus pounds. I'm not sitting.
My husband weighed a lot more than you.
And did he sit on your knee?
Every night.
That's great. That sounds like it's something very personal. It sounds like it should
And you
be...
see her and she goes, pat, pat.
No.
Please, don't insult the old woman.
I mean, those are no disrespect.
It's
I
funny. It's funny.
My God. How about, tell you what, let's do everybody else first, and I'll be the last one to sit on your name.
I don't trust you.
I don't trust you. The feeling is very much mutual.
What don't you trust?
I don't trust that your knee can hold my weight.
Would you like to hold under my knee as you sit down?
No. I will sit down on the ground. I will bring a boulder. I will
That-
bring...
I will put my knee onto the ground and you can very lightly sit. Deal?
Can I hear this?
Are you going up to the back of the cottage?
I
Or are
don't.
you still searching for pheasant?
Oh, I thought we had all the pheasant we needed. Do we need more?
No, you have 2. They're little quails, dude. They're the size of a fist.
I don't know what a quail looks like.
Google a quail, Josh.
No, I don't want to
They're
be
the
wrong.
size of a fist.
Okay, then then no, I'm not there.
I thought they were like a chicken. I don't know. I'm not sitting on her lap.
Sit on the knee. I told you, you can, if you think you can baby the knee that has seen many a lap and very, very many tukis. I have not met one tukis that could break me.
Okay. Fine. I sat on the bitch's lap.
And you kind of begrudgingly, you're like, motherfucker. And she like, was that so hard?
Yes.
And you see her, and she puts her leg down, and you slowly start to like, I'm gonna break this bitch's knee to make a point. And it's fairly solid. And she bounces you just a little bit, and she goes, "You have about 350."
Yeah, actually.
Thank you very much, Thomas. Was that so hard? As you
Yeah.
kind of get up, and she goes, "If you could please be a dear, could you move that log there and just make it vertical for me, please? I have to carve your chair."
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I
go.
make the log vertical.
Go ahead and roll a strength check.
Fuck. 17.
17. So you're able to kind of manage it as she goes over and she goes, that, all right. So if we have 2, if we could please get some more pheasants, I'm sure if you're much more hungry than 1 pheasant and perhaps more vegetable. If you run into Alden and Alder, I would love to fit them for their seats for tonight.
If I may ask,
Yes.
why make the seats? Like,
Well, everyone likes to feel special at dinner, and I don't get much guests.
have you
And-
done this with guests that you've had in the past?
And you see kind of this sad smile, and she goes, "A very long time ago. Yes."
Okay.
And
I'll
she
get
kind of- Mhm.
Alder, and I'll get Alder.
And you see her, she kind of bangs at this wood. And once again, it's kind of the shaky, like, what the fuck kind of cut was that? And then eventually she starts getting this rhythm as you start seeing this chair slowly start to be almost like she's dusting it off, and it's been in this log this whole time.
Okay. Do I see Dremmell or Alder anywhere?
Alder and Dremmell, what y'all doing, Hardy boys?
I think I would be coming back with pheasants, hopefully.
Go ahead and roll a survival, baby.
Oh,
And I'll be looking for vegetables.
You also roll a survival check there. What'd you get there, Drem?
Got a 10.
Got a whole 10.
Got a whole 10.
Go ahead and roll a d4 for me.
I rolled a 22.
Okay.
4?
4. So you're able to actually, you don't find the pheasant, but you find at least like 4 pheasant eggs that you're able to kind of collect and arm. And then with your 20, you're able to find Alder. For the first time in many months, something that aren't fucking potatoes. You find different kind of root vegetables as far as carrots and turnips and beets and things that kind of grow by the riverbed. You see scallions and onions. You're able to kind of collect this smorgasbord, but I don't think you brought a basket, so you kind of put it in your cloak as you're kind of like, this one that smells good. This one looks good. You find a couple of wild mushroom as well. And you kind of all put it together in this giant, like, barrel of just your cloak.
Eat the bird.
Perfect.
Okay.
Take one for the team.
Eat a bird.
Eat Aya.
Do you want me to find a bird too?
You have a bird.
On your shoulder.
Oh,
Whoa,
the fuck is wrong with you?
Fuck a dark.
I'm hungry.
Fuck is wrong with you? Go home. Go sit on the lady's lap again, you fucking...
You don't know I
Wanker.
sat on her lap. Shut the hell up.
You don't know what I've been through, man.
We literally could all hear you screaming, I'm not sitting on your lap.
And then
Well, guess what? It's your turn.
And
Fine.
okay. So by the time Thokk comes back, it's been about 20 or 30 minutes or so of, Alder, you're kind of scavenging, and Thokk's like, okay, it's your turn to sit on the old broad's lap. As you kind of go up, you see two very immaculate looking chairs, one that has a giant D on it and the other one that has a T on it. And eventually you get over to her, and she's kind of sanding the arms of this chair that has the T on it. And she goes, "Oh, Mr. Alder, Anonymous, how are you? It seems that you have a very good harvest here."
I got you quite a few vegetables. Actually, some that I'm very excited to see what you could come up with. I haven't had a nice good homegrown meal in a long time. It seems like they kind of want more birds though, so I'm probably gonna go try and find more, even though I don't really want to. But
you don't have to do that if you don't want to. I mean, it looks like you have enough vegetables for everyone, including yourself. And she kind of goes over to the side of the cabin, and there's this kind of wicker basket, and she goes, "Okay," drops them. Kind of drop them in this basket, and it almost fills the whole entire basket. And it's this very wide-mouthed basket. And she goes, "I haven't had fresh vegetables in a very long time." She puts the cover over it, and she looks at you, and she goes, "I assume you have heard about the lap sitting at this point."
Yeah, I have heard. All right, let's just do it.
Well, at least you have more resistance than Thomas. And she kind of sits down and pats on her knee, and you kind of sit there. And once again, it's this very, like, you're expecting a very soggy, like, very brittle leg, and it's very solid. You're able to sit there, and she kind of bounces one or two as you're like, and she goes, "You are about 6'2", you are about 150, 164. Am I under?"
Oh, I mean, I haven't had good food in quite some time, so probably about that, yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Alder. If you could get your brother Alden, that would be very helpful.
Yeah, about that. Before that, question.
Answer.
Just while I'm sitting on your lap and we're kind of stuck here, with the chairs, like what in the notebook and writing down all of the information, I'm just curious, why?
Well, the notebook is, I'm not very good with names in my old age, so I don't try to be rude and ask continuously. There was a person who got very upset when I asked their name over and over, so I made sure to write it down. And as far as the chairs go, I mean, My husband and I, we've always had this philosophy if there are guests that they should have their own chair. So if they ever come back to tell me stories or him stories, that they know where they belong. So it's been a long time since I've had visitors, and I would like to make you all a chair.
How long has your husband been gone?
And you kind of see her, and her shoulders kind of sag a little bit, and she goes, I haven't thought of my husband in quite some time.
I'm sorry
you
to hear that.
She kind of smiles. She goes, oh, stop. It's okay. He was a big softie. No kind of boy for war. But he did what he thought he should do.
What happened?
He fought in the Dragon Wars all those times ago. And Alder, since you're actually from the region, you would have learned about it. The Dragon Wars were a set of war that had broken out between different kinds of dragons and these adventurers. This happened about 40, 50 years ago. And there were a lot of casualties, and that your current queen is the one that had been triumphant in the Dragon War, but at a great cost.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been alive for that, so.
Yeah. You wouldn't, I don't know if you would have been old enough to fight, or the elves would have been able to, or would have been willing to be involved, but you definitely had heard wind of it.
Yeah, I mean, if it was 50 years ago, that would put me at 165. So, yeah.
God, you're old.
Yeah, 215. But I don't look a day over 19.
You don't.
It's that elvish skin.
So.
Well, I say to her, what was her name again? Because now I'm the dumbass that didn't write it down.
Vindran.
Vindran. Well, Vindran, I'm sure he was a great man. So I'll go get my brother.
Yes, your brother.
I'm sure that you'll be in for quite the story later.
Well, I very much look forward to it.
Yeah. All right, I'll be off to get him and then hopefully get you some more birds.
Well, like I said, you don't have to get me more birds if you don't feel comfortable.
It's for the betterment of the group. I understand.
Well, sometimes you can focus on the betterment for you. And she smiles, and you see her, and she kind of gets up and she starts carving at this this log that's already kind of vertical, that is kind of to the far end. It's a little bit thinner, so she's able to kind of start poking and prodding at it and start carving it. As Alder, the interaction once again takes about 20 or so minutes, 30 minutes. And Dremmell, what have you been doing during this whole like hour and a half of scourging for food and shitting on Thokk and Donnar and Alder?
Well, once Alder went to sit on the lady's lap, I just started pacing back and forth, getting nervous, because an hour has gone up. So I am my full-sized 7-Eleven cowman.
Yeah.
Full convenience, baby. Full convenience.
Yeah.
Hey,
Ooh-wee.
Dremmell, I can always cast blindness on the woman. Like I could just.
Seems kind of
think
cruel,
that'll-
don't it?
Well, to blind her, like it'll be easy.
Shit, well,
I mean-
give me your hat real quick.
It doesn't work that way. You need an hour to kind of like attune to it.
Damn.
I mean,
Find
I
your
think
own
it's
hat.
more funny this way, so.
Well,
What about your werewolf story?
yeah, but I'm already a furbolg. I don't get my big, like, wow, he was a furbolg the whole time? I never would have suspected.
Exactly.
Fuck.
I have a question about this, Mr. Ware Furbolg.
Yeah.
Will you talk like Dremmell or Alden?
Well, I'll start like this at first, and then when the reveal happens, I'll go, me.
The reveal,
reveal
of walking up
already-
to her cottage, or
Yeah, but here, I got an idea. And I cast Hidden Step, and I go invisible.
Wait. Oh, I was gonna help you. Never mind.
I mean,
I
I'm
can't
still
see you.
here. Because you can see the eggs floating in the air.
Here, come towards my hand so I can touch you, just to help you out with something in case she needs.
Okay.
You just need help.
I lay my head on his hand like a little baby.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cast Enhance Ability, Eagle Splendor on him, which gives you advantage on charisma checks for the next hour, in case you so anything charisma based you have advantage on for the next hour.
Cool.
So in case you need to deceive her or something, this might help.
Yeah, because she's a fucking monster.
Hey, you don't know? The bitch
I
can
do,
hold
you know.
350 pounds on one knee, and she looked like she was about to fall apart.
Yeah. So I guess I better go before this wears off.
Yeah, Alden, go get to it.
Okay, brother. See you later.
You're not my brother. You're not my brother.
And I flick him off, but he can't see it, but I know.
Donnar just starts to wave and says, "Bye, Alder's brother."
Goodbye, brother friend.
He's not my brother.
So, as I get up to the cottage, I don't just walk straight up, because she's sitting out front, right, carving.
She's in the back carving.
Oh, she's in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Can you pull up the screen?
Yeah.
Cool. Gonna
I
switch
can.
on over. Cool. So she's in the back. If you can move her
So
as well.
she's over here,
All right.
and then y'all are over here.
Cool. Then what I'm gonna do is walk over here, so I'm around the corner.
Yeah.
Oh, Vidrin, are you there?
What? Yeah. Yes, Alden, I am here. I'm sorry, I don't quite see where you are. And you see her, and she kind of takes off her glasses and she starts rubbing to kind of clear them out. Are you trying to be deceptive, or what you doing?
Well, right now I'm behind here. I'm behind the corner. Yeah. Yes. I have something to tell you. I don't want you to be alarmed. Are you sitting down?
And you kind of see her, and she's looking around, and she goes, "Well, I mean, I've made 3 chairs at this point. I mean, I feel like I can sit down somewhere."
Oh, yes.
And she kind of sits down on the little stool at her workbench, so none of the chairs. But you see these 3 very handsome chairs. One has a D, a T, and a A. As she kind of sits down, and she goes, "Okay, what is it?" And you see her, and she puts her glasses on, and she kind of peers in the direction of where your voice is coming from.
Okay, so here's a little thing. I do not look like you think I look like. I'm very nervous about my appearance. I've been made fun of it a lot in the past. So if you can just not be mean about it, I'm going to show you real quick.
You're very fine. I don't have any judgments. I mean, you're a very good-looking fellow, from what I have surmised.
Oh boy. I'm gonna take a step out and I drop it and I say, this isn't my real voice anymore. This is how I talk. It's kind of hating that voice a little bit. Hurts my throat. I hope you're not too upset about me lying to you.
And she kind of looks at you and she goes, "You're very blue."
I am very blue.
Have you always been this blue?
As far back as I can remember, yeah. I think at one point I was a bit of a darker shade, but that was in my younger years when I was outside all the time.
Well, I think it is also safe to assume that perhaps you are not the elf's brother.
Yeah, we're just friends. But he hates when I call him my brother, so if you can just keep that going, that would be fantastic.
Well, if I will do you the service, you can maybe perhaps do me for me. What is your real name?
Well, I guess I can tell you. It's Dremmell.
Dremmell, that is a very fine name. Well, Dremmell, it is very nice to know you and meet you. If you'd like, I have been testing everyone's weight to make sure that their chairs can support them, and I believe you are the last one. And she kind of pats her knee.
Are you sure? I mean, Thokk's pretty big, but as you see now, I'm a full foot higher than that man.
I am not intimidated by you, very blue person.
All right. I trust you. And I turn around and I sit on her lap or on her knee.
And you sit on her knee, and it kind of sinks a little bit, and then soon it's her knee kind of pops you up a few times as she kind of guesses. She goes, "You are 198, 210 in that area. You're very lean."
Yeah, I mean, we've been on a cross-country journey, so I guess I've not been eating too well.
Well, we will change that, I promise, with German. So, if you give me a few more minutes, I am going to finish your chairs. If you would like to set up camp, there is, and she kind of scuttles a little bit, a little pep in her step. There's this kind of very tiny shed. She goes, there is about 5 or 6 tents there. If you would be a lead lamb and put them in the cart, you can load at least 4 for the 4 of you. And there are sleeping bags and blankets, and everything is fairly clean. I like to make sure everything is clean in case I ever do get visitors. It's kind of a weekly ritual. Even if no one does come for a few years, it is always good to be prepared. And I will finish your chairs, and then I will eventually need help moving the chairs. But we will get dinner started.
Of course, ma'am. One other thing.
Yes.
So I had told the guys that I was going to tell this big elaborate story about how I was Alder's brother, and then I got bit by a furbolg, and then became. Have you heard of a werewolf before?
I've heard of a werewolf before.
Well, I was going to say that I was a furbolg, and at night I turned into a furbolg, and that's when I was going to get big. I was going to do this whole big reveal. It was going to be A1. Could you tell them? Can you just pretend that I told you that and play along?
And she kind of looks at you, and her head kind of cocks, and she goes, "You tell all these very tall tales. Why?"
I like to entertain. I'm a storyteller at heart.
I do see that, but are all of your stories so sad?
Sad. I gained a power, and I had a brother.
And she goes, "Of course. Yes, I will be more than happy to tell your story of how you startled me and that you are a werewolf. If you'd like, Dremmell."
Cool. I appreciate that, Vidrin. Here are the eggs, by the way.
Oh, thank you. If you would please put some on top of the basket with the vegetables here. I need to finish this within the next hour. I'm very excited. Next time when you come, they will be varnished, but I feel this should be okay for now, yes? And she looks at you kind of like, is this good enough?
Oh, this is fantastic. I mean, we've been sitting on logs, stumps, rocks, dirt. It's amazing just to have something that is made just for me.
Yes, and it will be custom, one of a kind. So, thank you. And she starts kind of carving as you kind of head your way over to the shed. You load all the camps and the backpacks as you kind of cart them over to where the site is. And I'll put you over here. And we'll move you guys back over. And after a while, it takes you a little bit, and you're able to put a few of the tents up. You kind of just overshot it, and you take a bunch of tents. You start a campfire. You just start everything kind of going as your tents start to kind of pop up.
And I would have in that time been trying to get any extra birds as well for the rest of the group. But I'm not going to kill them. That's their job if they want to eat them.
I would also be trying to acquire some more birds.
Do you want
Got a hunger.
Do you want to just aid me in that?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll be the killer.
Okay. So go ahead and roll a
survival.
If Donner's helping. Yeah, go ahead and roll survival at advantage.
27.
Okay. So after a while, you're able to kind of track down these different pheasant. Go ahead, both of you. You can roll d6s for me.
Get all the birds.
5.
Also a 5.
Okay. So you get about 5 pheasants each. And so eventually you're all able to kind of convene here. You're able to start setting up everything. Everything is starting to look very comfortable as the sun starts to set. As you kind of smell the different kind of foods that are already being prepared, or at least to an extent. The 4 of you kind of eventually wander over, and you see on her own little cart is the vegetable. You see a whole bunch of different pots and pans, and you see before you 4 very handsome chairs that each have your initials on it, including Dremmell's D. As she kind of looks at you and she goes, unfortunately, I'm unable to lift them, but they should be fairly light, but very strong. If you would all please, if we could get to the campsite. And you see her, and she kind of starts dragging a little bit the cart, and she goes, Scheiße.
I take over and drag the cart for her.
So you kind of strong-arm the chair, and you get the cart, and she goes, oh, thank you so much. And she sits into the cart as night starts to kind of fall, and she starts making this very extravagant and immaculate kind of dinner of different kinds of the meats and vegetables, and the campfire starts roaring, and the drink is very warm and bountiful as the kind of the night sky opens up and the crickets start to chirp. As eventually you all get this very nice pheasant and quail feast of this very finely cooked chicken. It's moist, it's juicy, it's tender. It's something that hasn't been slop. And everything has a bite and a crunch to it, and a softness and a tender and a give. And everything is so savory and wonderful. As she just looks very happily, as you see her kind of pick at her feet, at her meat and her food. And she has eventually, one of you have been able to go into her house, and she has her own chair that has a little V on it that she sits. It's a very big chair. It's much bigger than she is. Like, her arms are up here, but she seems very comfortable and cozy in it. And she kind of rocks back and forth, and she goes, how is the meal, boys?
Delicious.
It was amazing.
This is probably the best meal I've had in 2 years.
Oh, you make an old girl blush. Thank you, Dremmell.
Of course.
And she goes, well, I've been meaning to tell you, only because I don't want to intrude. Dremmell has been the one to say it. Thomas, is your name really Thomas?
Yeah, of course it is.
Go ahead and roll a deception check for me.
14?
14. She looks at you and her eyes kind of narrow. She goes, you've eaten my food. You're sitting on my lap. Thomas.
No, it's not Thomas. It's just knowing my name can be dangerous. So
I know of a lot of names. I mean, I'm not one to kind of pry. I don't name drop, if you will. I mean, if I could, could these woods talk? Secret is safe with me, I promise. I'm a lot tougher than you think.
Do I believe her?
You can go ahead and roll insight.
20, not natural.
She seems very earnest.
Okay. I dropped the disguise.
And her eyes kind of light up and she goes, "There you are. I've been
And
waiting for this."
my name is not Thomas. It's Thokk.
Well, at least I got the name right. I was having worries about having to recarve the initial or make a whole new chair. At least you stuck with the T. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Well, Thokk, Dremmell, Alder, and Donnar, what really brings you to my little cottage? Promise the story.
We broke out of the prison.
You
Shit,
broke out of
Donnar.
Stoneward.
Yeah.
Well, not a lot of people have done that. So why
No.
were you in Stoneward?
For,
And you see her, and she kind of puts her cup up, and she's still kicking her feet.
for unjust reasons, all of us.
False imprisonment.
I robbed
doing
from
the
the
right-
rich. I robbed from the rich and gave to the poor.
I just tried to do the right thing.
Well, that seems very interesting. But, boys, I feel as if you should know if I felt like you were going to hurt me, I feel like you would have done it by now.
You're right. But we're not.
So, I say, I'm glad you are out of that God-forsaken prison. Once again, most travelers from there are not very friendly, and even then, I haven't run into them for many, many years when they first were building it.
There may be someone else who came out of that prison that you should watch out for.
Oh, yes. And you see her, and she pulls out her little notebook, and she goes, and do you know whose their name is or what they look like?
He is medium build. Carries a thing of playing cards on his hip. Dark hair. Kind of got piercing eyes.
Oh, this might help, and I disguise myself to look like him.
And she kind of looks, and she tilts, and she goes, I see. And so this is the man you are running from.
Running after. Running
After.
towards. At least at some point, we hope.
He's a bad man.
I've met many bad men in my lifetime.
Well, I hope for your sake and his that he's one that you don't.
I also hope for his sake I don't run into him.
Your knee was able to support all of us. You present yourself as a very, no offense, but frail old lady. Is there something you want to tell us? Now that we've told you our names?
I am Vinjan, and I'm very old. I don't get much visitors here in the forest and on the mountainside. It has been very lonely without my husband, Tari. He was a poet. He was an artist. I was the sculptor, and he was the one with words. He used to write sonnets about me when the sun used to crest into the window and the early morning of how my skin would glow. How safe I felt. And he went off to war. And I haven't seen him since. I'm just a very old lady who misses her husband. Very much so. And misses visitors as well.
DM, how close are we to that boat?
I would say you're a little bit away, but you're not too far from the stream. It looks like it's within a walking distance, maybe like a 5 to 6 minute walk.
Okay.
I would look at Alder, or I'd look at Dremmell and know exactly what he's thinking about doing, and I'll nod to him.
And seeing that nod, I look back at Vindrin, and I say, I think I have something for you. Give me 5 minutes. And I turn around and I start sprinting.
Okay. And she kind of looks...
I do the same. I say, please excuse us. And I take off right after Dremmell.
And she looks over at Thokk. Do they also have to go to the bathroom like you did?
Who knows? Potentially. They'll be back.
I think I know what they're doing, and I think you'll like it.
So, you guys kind of start running towards the boat. Alder, I'm sorry, I cut you off. What were you going to do?
Oh no, I was just saying to her, I was like, I think I know what they're doing, and I think you might enjoy it.
Well,
You've done so much for us that it's the least we can do for you.
oh, stop it. I'm more than happy to help.
So, as we wait for them to go and come back, I'm going to just share to her that most of what I shared with you is actually true. I do come from a city called Shennisport. Since you like stories, just know that Shennisport is not exactly in this realm of existence. It is
You're
actually...
from another plane.
I am. My family were fishermen. They are still on that plane. I am the only one in this one. So that I was truthful about. I'm not a blacksmith. I apologize. As you can see by my armor, it's not exactly blacksmith material that I wear.
That must be very lonely. I'm so sorry.
It can be, but I've learned that everything happens for a reason, and I've found my own family here, so I'm actually quite content. But thank you.
Of course. Well, if you ever need some very old ears to listen to, I'm a good listener. One lonely soul to the other.
Thank you. And I kind of grasp her hand and kind of like share a moment.
And her hand is very warm and it's very firm and strong. It's these wood carver hands, slightly calloused and working, and she's able to grasp very firmly. Dremmell and Donnar, I'm guessing you're sprinting towards the boat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to see who's trying to get there first.
Oh, I don't know if it was a race. I mean, I guess I would get there first since I started running before he did.
Yeah.
You got longer legs.
So you start looking through the boat as a few moments pass by and Donnar is there as well.
Do you just want to take the whole boat?
Hell yeah. If I knew you were coming,
right.
that would have been my plan from the get-go.
Let's take it back to her then.
So I root through to look for any other belongings aside from the notebook, just to make sure that nothing falls out as we carry it.
And I'll cast dancing lights to try and aid him in finding anything.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an investigation check for me.
25.
You look in and you see another very small kind of book that's nestled underneath one of the seats, but nothing else kind of points out or anything. There's no like holes in the bottom of the boat, anything like that. As you both of you kind of scoop up and hold the boat up.
Wait, but I want to see what that book is first.
Okay.
The second book.
You can't. So you go ahead and you open it up, and in it, it looks like on each page is a very old, very rigid pressed flower. And on the front is this dialect, more of that dialect you don't understand on the front.
All right, I grab that and just keep the two books in a chest pocket.
Okay.
So, yeah, carry the boat.
Okay. So eventually, after a few moments of kind of chit-chatting and talking, you kind of see Dremmell and Donnar bring this canoe over on their shoulders. And you kind of see Vindrin's eyes light up a bit as she goes, oh, And it looks like she recognizes the boat.
And I put the boat down with Donnar. I say, we found this on our journey here. It didn't mean much to us then, but I see SS Tari, right? Yeah, Tari, and I knew when you said that name, it rang a bell.
And you see her, and she kind of scuttles off her chair, and she puts her hand very softly to her, and she goes, "Of course, he had to name it after him." And you see kind of these tears start streaking down her face a little bit as this very old hand runs across the bow. As you start seeing things click in her mind, and she goes, "We used to row this down the stream before he made that bridge, and he would read and recite his poetry to me as the different daffodils would sprout and the bugs would jump from the water." And you see her, and she strokes.
Speaking of daffodils, and I like quickly pass one of the books to Donnar.
Mm-hmm.
And we found these books that we think you might be interested in looking at.
And you
I hand her mine.
steer, and that's the pressed flowers, or it's the one with the writing in it?
Let's just say I gave the flowers to Donnar.
Okay. So she takes it and she goes, you found his poems. I thought these were lost. And you see her, and she thumbs through, and she smiles warmly.
I hand the other book to her. This one was also in the boat.
And she looks through, and she goes, "This is when we used to travel. We would travel all around the globe. Valoria, places like that, Chessex. I found a desert rose once. The different channels of surf. This is so special, boys. This is so special. Thank you." And she's starting to get a little teary-eyed. She goes, "I thought these were all gone."
I can only speak for myself, but I will attempt to get back here as often as I can to share stories and tell you of our tales, because you've been so kind, and just to check in on you, make sure you're not getting into too much trouble.
I would very much love that. Thank you.
No, we thank you for understanding our story and for letting us share the real us. And I'm gonna put my hand on the boat. I don't know if this will help with like the petrified look of it, but I'm gonna cast mending on it to see if I can make it to its like pristine, like beautiful original form. I don't know.
Right. You see, and it slowly starts to, I would say some of the petrification starts to die down as kind of life is put back into his boat slightly, as you shave at least 10, 20 years off of it. And you see the eyes, and she goes, "Oh, this is the best visit I've had in a very long time." And you see her smile, and she goes, "Well, I think that is enough excitement for tonight. I hope that you all stay for breakfast. Please, I'm sure entertaining an old lady has been fun enough." And you see her, and she's like, I'm going to read through these.
Before you go, if it's not too personal, your husband, I can only imagine with such a beautiful muse as you, he wrote some beautiful poems. Could you read one for us?
You flatter me. Well, I have to thumb through the ones that aren't about my butt. And she kind of goes through and...
Smart man.
I like Tori.
I like the cut of his jib.
A man of taste.
Easy. And she talks... there's this one poem that she speaks, and it's from his point of view of one of the vacations they kind of took together through this kind of marsh where there was this giant kind of forest ceiling of just different jades and emeralds, and that the lights were it seemed like the lights were parting for her as this kind of spotlight kind of shone on her, that her eyes had this very deep amber color to them as she would look back at him, and he would feel elated and almost effulgent as if nothing that their past or their future that mattered. It was just that moment when they were together.
That's beautiful.
It was soppy.
Dremmell wipes
It was
a tear from his eye.
It was really nice.
Do you mind, again, if it's not too personal? Like, obviously, when we didn't know what they were at first, and we looked through it, but we couldn't understand the writing. Like, is that like a code that he used to write in, or
Something like that. Very old language.
do you
Tell
mind
me
me asking what language it was? If not, it's okay. I was just curious.
And she kind of looks and she goes, love.
Love. It's beautiful.
And then Alder is just crying in the background.
It's so beautiful. Would I ever find love? I've got this stupid fucking bird. No, I'm just kidding. I love you.
Donnar has not really looked up from his hands in this since she started reciting this poem, and clears his throat. Vindrin, not to be too abrupt to change the subject, but do you remember specifically how to get to Flamingo Bay from here?
Oh, Flamingo Bay. I'm not too familiar, but I do know there is a city, few days out, weeks out. White Willow Plaza. They have some, I wouldn't say they have port, but there isn't a body of water here for quite a while. We have the stream.
Can you say that name again?
White Willow Plaza.
White Willow.
You should be at least able to find some more comfortable room and board.
I don't think we could find better room and board than right here.
You flatter me.
Look, we spent a lot of time in a place where we're constantly on our guard and constantly watching our back, and it's real nice. It's real nice to meet someone real. So
I
thank
agree.
you.
Of course.
Do you need help getting back to your cottage, or
No, I think I'll walk, if you don't mind. And you see her, and she kind of puts her hand out as she kind of like eases down, and she puts the books under her shoulder as she kind of puts her hand out as she starts touching the different kind of vegetation and the flowers and the bushes. As you hear her humming, as for the first time you've seen her today without pain, she just walks very slowly towards her cabin, as the four of you are hankering down for the night. So as we go to a close, what are we looking to do, guys?
I knew Donnar wanted to talk one-on-one at some point.
Oh, no. What did you need?
I knew that Donnar wanted to talk one-on-one at some point. Is that still...
Okay. I mean, there's no point in doing like a first watch because you won't really need one. I'll be very frank with you. So you can all kind of do your own thing as you like as you start settling down for the night.
I kind of just start to walk, I guess, back towards the stream, and in hopes that having talked to Thokk earlier, he would follow.
I have a pretty high passive perception, so I think I would get the hint.
Right. Okay.
Right.
So you guys.
I'm very wise.
Yes, you start following him.
Yeah, I follow.
And after I get to the mouth of the the stream or river, I just kind of sit down and look up at the sky. I assume there's some trees in the way and stuff, but
Yeah.
can I see the moon and the stars?
Yeah. After some time and the radiant kind of radiation or the pollution from the campfire light kind of dies down as you're able to see just this wide system of stars and the moon, and you actually see something streaking across the sky as a comet kind of moves past.
And I kind of, I'll sit, bring my knees to my chest, and I'll just kind of lean my hand over it and just open it slightly and just listen.
I will, whenever I get there, sit next to him, kind of like looking off to whatever direction he's looking, but not looking directly at him, and ask, so, copper piece for your thoughts?
Too expensive for my taste. I'll just tell you. Thokk, how long have you followed Pelor?
But, well, it's there's been some bumps in the road, but essentially since I was a small orcling, really, since I was a kid.
I'll kind of, Donnar lays down on his back and looks up at the sky. Do you ever just wonder why the gods do the things that they do?
Yes and no. Maybe the more we travel, the more I can share with you, because some gods I know exactly why they do the things they do, but others just kind of want the best of us. They want to see what humanity is destined to do, I guess.
Yeah, I just wish that they would answer your prayers a little more consistently, I guess.
They do. It might not be in the way that me and you can answer each other through speech, but they answer their prayers in their own ways. Sometimes silence is the answer that you need at the moment. Being a being that is omnipotent is not always easy for a god, at least through my opinion. There's things they can say, and there's things that they have to keep hidden.
Sometimes they just need to watch, right?
Sometimes they just need to watch. And other times they can lend a helping hand or point you in the right direction. But
I want to travel with the group. I'd like to accompany you on the boat. I need to get back to the town that I was at before I got sent to Stoneward. But I'm also searching for some answers.
of course, then if you need to talk at your own time, at your own pace, I feel like these guys are pretty good people to talk to, as well as myself. But don't feel pressured.
The village is Halgaror, and I want to get back there as soon as I can. And I'm looking for a weapon I lost a long time ago. It's an axe, and it should just be buried somewhere. So, but the craftsmanship is something people would talk about.
All right. Then I'll help you get to where you need to get to. You guys help, of course. I owe you guys a debt that I can't really repay that easily. You could have left me as stone in that cave, and you actually didn't. And it says a lot about your character, all three of your characters. So I feel like how you said, do the gods answer all the time? No. But I was destined to meet you. So the gods must have pointed me in the right direction somehow.
Well, maybe traveling with you, I could get a few more answers.
Of course. Any question you have,
I'll
I'll do
kind
my
of
best.
sit up and get up, put my arm on his shoulder, and I'll thank you, Thokk. I do appreciate it, but I'm going to go get some sleep.
Okay. No problem.
I'll pat him on the shoulder, and for one of the first times you'll being that you do have a passive perception, you'll hear me start mumbling under my breath about I know you're watching, and I just need to come to peace with that. That's all you're going to do. And you see both of his arms go out to his sides, and he stretches, and he opens his hands, and he kind of waits for a second, and drops them down to his side, and keeps walking.
And I'll stay where I am. And Thokk will look up. And you said that there was like a shooting star, you said?
Yeah.
I'll see that and kind of close my eyes. And to myself, I'll just think, I'm on my way. I miss you. I love you. And I'm doing the best I can to get back. And then just stay there for a few minutes before going back to camp.
Okay. Before we wind down, anything Alder, Dremmell, you want to do?
Go ahead.
I'm not. The weather. Would you say that the weather looks clear tonight?
The weather is very clear. It's very beautiful. There's a slight breeze. There's no humidity. That familiar, dank, gross, moist cave smell is miles and miles away. And it's just fresh evergreen.
So, while we were eating, I would have assumed that Aya still would have been with me. Rather than going into a camp, I'm just going to go ahead and take just take the blanket out of or whatever would have been set up, a sleeping bag, what have you, in the camp, and I'm going to set it up outside of the tent. I just want to be in the world, and obviously I'm going to take my long rest for 4 hours, but I'm just going to embrace being in the world.
Yeah. And you feel as the fires kind of die down, as eventually Donnar and Thokk come back, and they're all very quiet. They go into their tents, and eventually you start hearing the sawing noises of snoring as you're just studying these constellations. And Aya is over the tent that you kind of propped up but aren't in, and she's kind of on the top of it as you see her eyes kind of close, as her body lax a little bit as you start connecting the different constellations and all the ones that your father showed you when you were a boy. And the great bright moon just reflecting onto your face as you absorb this lunar energy, and you feel refreshed as you stare. Dremmell?
Can I interject in the timeline a little bit?
Of course.
Just as Donnar and Thokk have gotten back and we're all laying down, the fire's out, our heads have hit our pillows or whatever we have found to make pillows.
They're pillows. She has some pillows in her shed that you're able to kind of stack up.
All right. Then as we're all getting comfortable, I say, fellas, you awake?
Yeah.
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 I want to say something. I'm not happy about the way that we met, but I'm glad that we did. And you should have listened to me about taking the boat.
Ice cream, we are going to have a problem.
You're definitely not my brother.
I'm just saying. She wanted the boat at the end.
Made better. You got your reveal.
Hey,
Yeah.
everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, Thokk. You got that right. Night,
But we
boys.
did good. Good night.
So as the night draws to a close, and Alder, you're staring at the stars. This is where we'll end our session, our first session out of the cave. Yeah.
That was just wholesome.
Yeah.
Right?
Just, I feel like it was like a lot of like backstory for everybody. We kind of got a view of everyone's character a little bit, temperament, all that good stuff.
I feel very wholesome right now. Carlos, are you playing music right now? Because I hear it.
No.
Oh, I thought that was you playing it.
I
Was
thought that
that-
was you
Yeah.
playing it
Maybe
too.
it's the mountain.
I think it's roll 20.
Roll 20.
It
like
knows.
honestly, like it put me like in the mood.
Oh,
Like that
yeah.
Right?
music was like
Yeah.
It was something else. It was like strings. I don't know what it was.
It was like violin or something in the background.
Shannon's got the TV on really loud. That might be what it is.
No.
Do you
that-
think so?
I don't know. It sounded
Maybe
great. though.
Gary Gygax's ghost is just like romance.
Oh my god! I ain't gonna
He's
lie.
like,
though.
yo, dog, I get it.
I will admit this is the first time that I felt like this wholesome feeling since the end of the last campaign. So I think this
I
is
agree.
And now the game's over. So.
Done.
we all die overnight.
Y'all dead.
She was the big bad the whole time. We put her at peace. That's what happened.
She's an assassin.
She's an
shit.
assassin. Her husband.
Well, like, comment, subscribe, favorite us. We're trying to get that dope ass important person status on Twitch. So please,
Affiliate.
that one. Share with your friends. Tell your mom to do it. Create 4 Twitch profiles and favorite us for all of them.
Your mom wants to talk to you anyway. Just talk to your mom, dude.
Just talk to your mom. Just talk to your
Talk
mom.
her. She's lonely.
In order to get to affiliate, we're going to probably start streaming some other stuff here. So if you like gaming or podcasting or any of that stuff, check it out. Just favorite us. Thank you guys for hanging out. We greatly appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Episode 8?
8.
8.
Yep.
All right.
Campaign 2. Campaign 2. And anybody else got anything before we send it out?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. You go
Did
first.
you have chat people?
Yeah, that's what I was going to close out with.
There you go, baby.
Cool. We'll close out by reading everyone in the chat again. So a big thank you to another TV viewer, Commander Root, Gandalf the Babe, Sardarasarov. I don't know. Thanks for making me say that.
Sorry.
Thank you for making him say that.
Top Tabling and Windsock.
Hey.
So
Top table.
Guys, thank you so much. Be good. And we'll see you guys next week.
so
Next
long.
week. Hey.